Well, the game of the week on the Valley Channel pits a couple of Valley rivals at each other's throats. The Logan Grizzlies and the Mountain Crest Mustangs as the Mustangs visit Grizzly Gym on the campus of Logan High, and Mountain Crest coming off that tough loss. Emotional, gut-wrenching. You know, put your hyperbole in right there against Box Elder that we saw the other night. Now they just have to get right back at it against a pretty good Logan squad.
Well, Logan rolling now after 2 wins in region, having lost 1 to Skyview to begin with, but Mountain Crest really needs a win. They haven't won yet in region play. This is important, and it's a very difficult place to get that first win.
It really is. We were impressed by Jackson Brenchley last week for the Mountain Crest Mustangs, the freshman. It wasn't that he really lit up the scoreboard or anything, although he did get into double figures, but the way he, as a freshman, a 14-year-old kid, controlled the game was really interesting.
A lot of intangibles. Will be fun.
Game of the week on the Valley Channel coming up next.
I'm Josh Arthur. I'm a competitive ultramarathoner. I've been running in the Olympus down here in southern Utah, training and trying it out. It's been working great. My background's in exercise science and biomechanics, so my whole focus is on proper running technique and footwear that allows for that, and the Olympus is no exception. It doesn't sacrifice the toe box, it doesn't sacrifice the zero drop. It's just what I like in a shoe plus the extra comfort of the extra cushioning. Any area, pretty much, you're going to find puddles and you're on a long trail run. If it's a thin puddle, you don't even feel it because the higher rise of the shoes, you don't even have to get splashed. If you do get them wet, that quick dry mesh on the upper lets them dry out real quick. The zero drop allows me to have proper running form, no elevated heel, and allows me to run with a very light and natural stride that my body's made for. On the climbs up, because of the extra cushioning and the softer rubber that it has, it almost gives you a little spring, and it lets you kind of float up the climbs. It worked great on the big drops. I didn't have to worry about if I was going to land on a sharp rock like I normally would. I could just pick where I wanted to hit and just go for it. With Ultras, I have that variety. With the zero drop max cushion, it just allows me to run the way I want to. I can cover terrain for longer times that normally I wouldn't have been able to. It's a comfort thing. It feels great.
Mountain Crest visits Logan in a Valley rivalry game on the Game of the Week. Game of the Week is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Cache Valley Hospital, your choice in healthcare. Salt Lake Express, door-to-door service to and from the Salt Lake Airport every hour. Lewiston State Bank, strong and vibrant for over a century. Immaculate Homes, now your home. Wendy's of Cache Valley. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you've been missing. PR Graphics for all your promotional graphics needs. Planet Fitness, the judgment-free zone on only $10 a month. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's television station. Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel. We are at Logan High School, Mountain Crest and Logan getting set to tip off in about 10 minutes from now. And always interesting, these in-Valley rivalry games, Lee. And Mountain Crest, a team trying to set who they are. Logan, a team that's trying to stay in the hunt for that region title.
Well, you know, I mentioned in the opener that Mountain Crest still looking to get a region victory. They do have one against Ogden. I look back at my schedule, and that was so long ago, I kind of forgot about that. They do have a 2-game losing streak coming into this, but they really have to get a win on a very tough court against some very experienced players from Logan. And we're looking at Anderson and Brimhall and Compton. A lot of experience in the Crimson and Gold tonight.
Well, as always, Lee talks to both coaches before each and every game. Coach Graydon Bookmiller of the Mountain Crest Mustangs told Lee what to expect from the orange and blue tonight.
Coach, you're here at Logan tonight in another important region game, and your team having some issues getting started in the region, but a great game last week for TV, but a tough loss for your team at home. What do you tell your kids to come back and get after Box Elder?
We got to be resilient. You got to come with the same effort. I thought we started the game pretty well. more like lines that we're used to and expect from them. And so, we're going to be faced with a tough environment and got to be ready to play against Logan.
You have a very athletic team. Logan does as well. Tell me about your defensive strategies tonight. Of course, everybody talks about Brimhall. He's a great shooter, but you've got some great athletes as well. Talk to me about that.
Well, I think there'll be a lot of, game decisions by both coaches on who's playing well, foul situations, different defensive strategies. And so, for a little bit, it'll be a little bit of a chess match, I think, and then hopefully, ultimately, it'll be up to the kids on the floor that make the decisions on how the game's played out.
That's great. If you could pick one aspect of the game to get your young men to get better at, what would it be?
Turnover is always something that we've got to get better at, and then rebounding, especially in the fourth quarter.
Okay, thanks for your time, Coach. Good luck tonight.
You bet. Thanks.
Now, Coach Bookmiller talking about tonight's game, and the Mustangs led by a freshman. We talked about him in the opener, and I was talking with Coach about him as well, and just telling him how, I thought his grasp, how he ran the offense, how he controlled the offense was impressive for a kid so young, and he agreed that he plays at a pretty mature level.
Well, you heard the coach mention that the one thing they wish they could change is the turnovers and get better at on their side of the ball. And that's really what cost them that game against Boxer. They had a ton of turnovers. I don't know if you remember the number or not, but it was like 12.
It was double digits.
Yeah, it was a lot of turnovers. So if you can control that, it gives you a better chance to win this game.
Logan Brown and the Logan Grizzlies are 11-3. He also spent time with Lee Vaughn.
Well, Coach, after a shaky start in the first game in region play, you ripped off 2 wins now, and now you got Mountain Crest on your home court. Talk to me about how your team's playing.
I really liked the way we played last week against Bonneville and Ogden, and I really liked especially the way we played as a team against Bonneville. At their place, always kind of a tough place to play, and you gotta. It's 1 week at a time. Right, this is where it's fun. You get the heart of the season. You're playing and the guys that are just a couple miles down the road, and they're gonna be ready for us and definitely ready to take a few swings at us.
Well, that leads me right to my next question. Ogden and Bonneville, both important wins because they're in the region, but this is Mountain Crest. How do your kids feel going to this, and how do you coach them up for this game?
Yeah, you know what? Our kids, if you don't get excited for this one, it's you need to look into something different. And our kids are stoked. They're excited for this game. They're excited for the opportunity to play in front of their home crowd, and we'll be ready to roll. But so will they. And so these are the ones that are always fun.
Well, I asked Coach Buckmiller the same question, but if you could have your kids step up and do one thing better tonight, what would it be?
I think the biggest thing is against your region opponents, hold your composure really well, maintain poise, and that comes with solid defense. If we can defend really well and play solid as a team, I think we're going to be fine.
Great. We're looking forward to it, Coach. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
See you at half.
All right, Coach Brown talking about what his team has to do to come out on top in this one tonight. And there you have it. You heard it right from the coach, both coaches. Speaking of hearing, Dr. Paul Daines of Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology can design a hearing solution that not only gives you better hearing, but hearing that sounds like you want it to. That's at Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. They bring us our coaches' comments. Well, it should be an interesting one here tonight as the Grizzlies taking on the Mustangs. Mountain Crest seconds away from an upset over Box Elder last week, and they'll try to get the upset tonight over the 11-3 Logan Grizzlies. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this.
That's what was hard for my dad, was that he did not catch so much of the conversation, would respond inappropriately sometimes because he didn't hear. My father always put his hand behind his ear cupping so he could hear us. We don't think about it. It's when our family members start telling us we need the hearing aid that we begin to get serious, that maybe there is a problem. Although I knew I needed hearing aids, I could tell. But I was missing many times what the grandchildren were actually saying, and I would have to take their little face and turn it up to me so I could hear, which was embarrassing. But it was a wonderful experience to begin to hear. I could hear when I walked out of the office that day, people's shoes on the pavement. I couldn't believe it. It was an amazing thing. Now I have called a repairman because I could finally hear that the water was running constantly. So it is embarrassing. I can only imagine how many other things I've missed. You really don't see that behind my ear. Dr. Daines is a wonderful, caring doctor, and not only is it painless, but your family can finally not have to worry about communicating with you and you not hearing, even on your phone. That is a huge, huge thing. And so I would say, do it for your family and loved ones. Now I can hear.
Back at the Den on the campus of Logan High School, the Grizzlies and the Mustangs getting set to tip it off. I'm Eric Olson along with Lee Vaughn on our game of the week, a midweek tilt for these two teams. And we've already seen all three teams now in the Valley. We saw Logan and Skyview, and that game out there, not a bad ball game. And we saw Mountain Crest last week against Box Elder, and it's our first go-round with Logan and Mountain Crest as we're about midway through the region schedule, and then they start it all over again here in a couple of weeks. And Box Elderly last week there hanging around the top of the region with Roy, but they didn't look like a powerhouse, but they got the job done after trailing the entire game.
Yeah, they certainly look beatable. They're sitting at 4-0 in region play, 9-5 overall. Roy 3-0 in region play and 10-3 overall. So they're very close teams, but I think they are a beatable team, and when these teams get around the horn and play them again, they may take them out.
Roy is an interesting study. They are a senior-laden team, and the big senior is Burkott Chapman, is going to the U of U, and he's a kid that can play the low block and he can go outside the arc. And, you know, when you can build a team around a kid like that, usually you're going to be pretty good, especially if you've got a lot of upperclassmen.
Yeah. Well, you can hear the Mountain Crest Mustangs entering the gym by the reaction of the fans, and that's what makes this rivalry great.
Well, you know, we've talked about this before. It's my opinion is that this is a little bit more of a nasty rivalry.
Yes.
Than Skyview Logan or Skyview Mountain Crest.
I think the constant in that is Mountain Crest. They both really hate Mountain Crest.
I think that the Logan Mountain Crest rivalry is one where, and I think it may be because these guys, a lot of them play in a lot of sports together when they're younger, a lot more so than the kids at the north end of the valley, because there is that space in between them. And I think there's a healthy dislike, but also the respect for their opponents in that. It's an interesting dynamic.
Getting serious here at the Grizzly Den. Little dance competition going on. Easy. Somebody's watching you, dear. Okay, I'll stop.
Well, the house is filling up here at Logan High School, and everybody hoping for a good one here tonight, including us. And team's just about done shooting around. We had a barn burner in the JV game, and we hope it goes that way for the varsity game as well here tonight. So we're getting ready for the starting lineups. One guy that you'll be watching for the Logan Grizzlies is number 24. That's Tyler Brimhall.
Brimhall's averaging nearly 19 points a game, and he's fifth in 4A in scoring.
And he can shoot it from anywhere. Quick release, and we'll see that tonight. They're getting ready for the national anthem here at Logan High. So we'll take a break and come back and look at our starting lineups right after this.
Clark Salt Lake Express and the airport shuttle have merged and become one.
So we still have doorstep service, and it's about the same price as it was before. Our focus now is to try to provide as many opportunities for people who need to have the ability to get to and from Salt Lake when they want. They don't want to wait at the airport for 2 hours. They also don't want to be driving around the valley when they get here.
And you bring us to a location that leaves on time.
We'll have another vehicle take you here to save time comfortably, and that main vehicle goes 12 times a day on schedule, both leaving the valley and coming back.
The Logan High Pep Band performing the national anthem here. As It's Mountain Crest and Logan getting set to tip it off. You're watching the game of the week on the Valley Channel. We've got the starting lineups. Let's take a look, and Lee Vaughn will let us know who you're seeing.
Well, we'll see him as they introduce him here and call him out. Jackson Brenchley, number 0, the freshman point guard for Mountain Crest, gets the start tonight. 6'2". Number 22, Cannon Shank. Number 23, the linebacker, running back, guard, Gage Ferguson. Tanner Kirby, the big man in the middle, number 32, and number 33, John Huff. I was impressed with John Huff's game last week. He played very well against Boxelder, and he's a presence underneath. Good low post moves.
Speaking of underneath, Tanner Kirby is a guy that has to stay on the floor. He got in foul trouble last week for Mountain Crest. At 6'7" and a wide body, he's got to stay out of foul trouble. Should be fun to watch the matchup between Kirby and Tennant tonight. Both big kids, both going at each other, 6'8" and 6'7". Be a lot of fun to watch. Starting for Logan tonight, Taylor Compton, number 15. Number 44, we're just talking about Hiram Tennant, the senior center, 6'8". Number 20, Jackson Anderson, one of the leading scorers on this team for Logan. Averages about 13 points a game. And Tyler Brimhall, who we've talked about as well, number 24 starting. Watch his shot tonight. He's got a great release. It's quick and difficult to defend. Oh, and number 22, a little change in the lineup tonight. Marcus Mays. We'll still see Chandler Medlin a lot off the bench. He started last time we were with Logan, but he gets a lot of playing time. He'll certainly come in as a 6-man. Where they're getting them whipped up into a frenzy here in the den.
Oh, I think my grandpa used to say they're getting lathered up. I don't know what that means, but it's disturbing.
Both student bodies were coming in here early, and it was plenty loud just for the JV game.
Yeah, so if we say something silly to each other, it's because we really can't hear each other.
Kirby and Tennant will jump it mid-court. And we're underway at Logan High School. Jackson Brenchley, again, that freshman point guard with the ball, working on the senior Marcus Mays. Shank looks low to Huff, with Anderson working on him. Cross-court pass, Brenchley. Baseline drive shot off the front of the iron, and Compton comes up with it. The Grizzlies coming the other way.
Tough shot trying to force as Brenchley on the baseline. Good defense by Mays.
Anderson pops, got it. Jackson Anderson.
12.64 points per game for Jackson Anderson. I don't think that pass was to Shank, but a good job chasing it down.
A good catch. We saw last week with Mountain Crest, they'll move the ball around and look for their shot. They're very methodical, which is a change from some past years. Shank, somebody may have got their hand on that, but they're giving it back to Logan. He came up so short on that, you wonder if somebody may have got their hand on it or maybe hit his wrist.
I think they got a little touch on his elbow, which is almost indiscernible.
Brimhall gives it back to Anderson, and the Grizzlies move it around the perimeter.
Brimhall had a rough night against Skyview on our last Valley Channel game with Logan Skyview, and he just couldn't get going.
Compton pulls up in front of Kirby, dribbles off of the iron, and the Mustangs coming the other way. Down low, Kirby's got position and he scores. Tanner Kirby ties it up at a deuce apiece. Mays takes care of that with a three. Mays got back in a hurry and had a wide open look. That brings the Logan student body to their feet. Brenchley gets it back, and they're going to call a jump ball, and that's Logan ball.
That's a good call. Tie up in the air by Mays.
Grizzly basketball.
And a whistle and a foul underneath. Are they going to ring up Kirby? A little bit too much physicality down in the paint, and that's who it's on.
Foul on 32, Tanner Kirby, his first personal, first team foul. Grizzly basketball.
Brimhall triggers into Compton. Compton looking for Mays off of the screen. Mays, nowhere to go. And Brimhall waves him away. Tennant with the long jumper. In and out. Huff with the board.
Not really where you want your 6'8" center shooting the ball from the elbow.
Huff down low, tries to
That stays. That should be Mountain Crest ball.
sneak it in, and they're going to give it back to Logan.
Grizzly basketball.
So 2 turnovers in the early going for the Mustangs, and you said when you talked to Coach Bookmiller, they have to take care of the ball better, and they've turned it over twice in the first 3 minutes. Anderson kicks it back to Brimhall. Off the front of the iron, but Tennant's there. Tennant scores. And the Grizzlies race out to a 7-2 lead. 3 minutes and 10 seconds into this one.
Mountain Crest has to be patient on offense, make good passes, and overcome this emotional run that Logan has to start the game. Always emotional and adrenaline-filled to start, and that's a great way to do it.
Kirby powers in for 2 more. So it's Logan 7, Tanner Kirby 4.
Kirby averages over 12 points a game as well. 12.08 as a matter of fact.
Bookmiller getting set to come into the game for Mountain Crest, and a foul.
Maybe a foul on Ferguson.
Gage Ferguson picks up his first, team second. And that's a shooting foul. Compton goes to the line. Here's a look. Now Ferguson just got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Checking in for the Mustangs, number 13, Caden Buckmiller.
Shank will sit. Bookmiller checks in. He had a good game against Box Elder last week, Lee.
Very smooth. He's a great athlete and he's smart with the ball. Definitely a coach's son.
11 points for Bookmiller off the bench last week. Compton's got 2. And the Grizzlies have 9. To Mountain Crest's 4. That one saved by Ferguson. Looks like he was going to kick it out of bounds. Bookmiller looking at a 3, and he rims it out.
Boy, that's deep. They should give him 1 point for that.
Swat on the other end by Brenchley. Here comes Ferguson. Ferguson leans in.
Charge.
And 1.
That's a charge.
No, they are. They're going to call the charge. The official nodded his head like he was going to count it underneath, and the outside official says, I've got it.
The baseline official was looking at this opposite side official, and he was concurring that it was a charge because he already made the signal on this side.
It looked like that was the right call, as I believe it was Mays had position. 3.5 to play in the first period. 9-4 Grizzlies. Off the heel for Brimhall. As Combs comes in.
Real good.
Kirby, that's a little bit further out, and he'd like to be taking that little jump hook. Or a push shot, I should say. I feel like it's been all Logan, but Mountain Crest within 5. Compton makes it 8. 12 for Logan, 2:59 to play in the first period, and Mountain Crest wants a timeout. Gives us a chance to mention some of our sponsors, like the Logo Shop. Just like our name says, we logo stuff at the Logo Shop.
They do.
They give you an effective and practical solution for promoting your business, club, or group at the Logo Shop. Here's a look at that last 3 by Compton.
We just don't want to leave Compton wide open. You got to contest that shot. Spencer Coombs basically standing there watching him shoot that.
Well, I mentioned right before that shot that it really seems like everything going Logan's way, but Mountain Crest only down 5. Now that makes it 8.
That was a dagger, and Coach Buckmiller smart to get a timeout.
Medlin into the ball game now for Logan.
Cole Dixon.
Yep.
As well in for Logan.
Mountain Crest brings Shank back. Kirby's on the bench along with Ferguson. Combs has a look at a 3. Rims around and in.
Wow, that's a great shooter's bounce. Kicks off the backside of the iron, but spins back into the square and drops in.
Spencer Coombs makes it a 5-point deficit for Mountain Crest. Compton all the way to the rack, won't go. Rebound fought for. Combs picks it up. Combs kicks it out, 3 by Brenchley, won't go. Brimhall collects the errant shot. Brimhall all the way to the rim. .140 to play here in the first period. 7-point lead for the Grizzlies. Tough shot by Shank.
That's not helping your team, that baseline jumper.
Underneath, Anderson's free and he misses. Gets his own board and puts it down.
I think Anderson was shocked that ball came to him from Brimhall. So I missed that first one, but gathered himself and put the second one back.
Out to a 9-point lead, largest of the game for Logan. A minute to play in the first period. Huff steps inside the 3-point line, won't go. Bookmiller fights for the board, but it's Compton that comes up with it for the Grizzlies. Now Compton slows it down. Logan with a 9-point lead in the ball, 40 seconds to play in the first period. According to my unofficial stats, no turnovers for the Grizzlies, Lee. 2 for Mountain Crest. 3 by Brimhall, straight away. Mountain Crest wants another timeout. Now they're down 12 with 24 seconds to play in the period.
Mountain Crest not getting the hand up again on defense as Brimhall has an easy shot. Coach Bookmiller is talking to him about right now.
Brimhall got a shot going to the rack, and then he took that one right down the barrel. And he's got 5 points for the Grizzlies.
Take a little replay here as Coombs gets stripped off on a pick, and Brimhall's got an easy 3-pointer.
So Compton and Brimhall have 10 of Logan's 19 points. We hope you're enjoying the game here on the Valley Channel. You know, we've been broadcasting to Cache Valley families since 1989. Broadcast to homes throughout Cache County free on over-the-air TV channel 26.1 and on basic Comcast cable channel 17. Our advertising rates are very low. Our service and customer satisfaction ratings are very high. And remember, our programming is all about the people, events, organizations, businesses, and activities that make Cache Valley our home here at the Valley Channel. And as always, you can check out our Facebook page for contests, giveaways, as well as other content. And we have streaming. Our games are streaming on our Facebook page as well. Pretty high tech, Lee.
That's a big deal.
You're in the high tech world, buddy. Bookmiller hasn't knocked away, but he gets it back. 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Logan with a 12-point lead. Brenchley directing traffic. 3 seconds. They're not going to get it off. So Logan with 19 points in that first period, holding Mountain Crest to 7, taking the early lead by a dozen. We'll be back with the second period after this timeout.
I got a serious burn on today, bro. Deep down in here. Did you get your burn on?
I guess so.
Bros know when they get their burn on.
Maybe here?
No, bro. Bros know. Burning.
And that's why I don't like gyms. Well, we're not a gym. We're Planet Fitness.
No gym intimidation, no lunks, just $10 a month. We're not a gym. We're Planet Fitness.
Here at Lewiston State Bank, we offer lots of different loan products to meet your needs. We're happy to work with you and hope that you would enjoy working with us.
We had to take out an automobile loan, and so we came into Lewiston State Bank, and she was so good. She worked with me really, really well.
We are proud to have been serving our customers for over 100 years with personalized, friendly service. Please come in and meet your new friends at Lewiston State Bank.
19-7 our score here at the end of one as we get ready to start the second period. Logan with the early lead. And Lee, we talked about decision making earlier. Some not so great decision making on the offensive end. Mountain Crest was so methodical last time we saw them making good decisions, but they've taken a few shots that have made you scratch your head here in the first quarter.
I feel like the energy of the building is forcing this relatively young team to kind of force some shots and get away from where they want to be. And it's tough defense from Logan as well.
Entry pass to Huff.
That's good call.
Foul on Mays.
I think it's on Dixon. No, 11. I don't know who that is. I should look.
It's Jason Anderson. Just into the game. Kirby going to work down low. He's got 6 points.
And that's something he did not do last week against Box Elder. He never really squared up and got a good solid look. He's done that a couple of times tonight where he's gotten his shoulders turned and getting his eyes on the baskets, both eyes.
Well, he's got a definite size advantage down in there over everybody but Tennant. And Tennant's not in the game right now. Medlin drives baseline, kicks it out front to Anderson. His three won't go. Mays fighting for the board. Bookmiller looked like he knocked it out of bounds, and that's what the stripes say.
Out of bounds, Grizzly basketball.
Medlin out front to Mays, and he'll set it up. Free throw line jumper. Brimhall.
Mountain Crest has got to find an answer for that little curl right on the top of the key because he will hit that all night.
There's a turnover. He stepped over the end line.
Oh, no.
Tave stepped over the end line. Tave.
Mountain Crest down now 21-9. If they don't get a couple defensive stops and make some smart shots here in the next few minutes, this game will be done.
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 Done and over. Well, they're down 11 right now. What's the magic number for done?
Oh, he gets 18.
Okay. This went out of bounds and another turnover. That's 4 for the Mustangs. And they do. They look just a little bit discombobulated, and it is a raucous atmosphere in here, and I think that has something to do with it.
Sure, and that's one thing Logan does on these turnovers. They make you pay, and we don't keep stats of points off of turnovers, but a lot of their points tonight have come off. They've scored off almost every turnover.
Nice bounce pass from Anderson to Medlin, but Brenchley got a hand in there and knocked it away. Turnover for the Grizzlies. Down low, Huff is doubled. He finds Bookmiller. Kirby on the left block. Spins it up. It kind of looked like he got in the air and didn't know what he wanted to do with that. Brimhall. Too hard. Mountain Crest ball.
Boy, and Bookmiller gets away with the push in the back as Medlin goes shooting out of bounds. Back to Mountain Crest.
And Kirby turned with that, and it kind of looked like he got halfway up and couldn't decide whether he was going to pass it or shoot it.
I think he was going to pass it originally, but the defender came across his face, and by then he tried to shoot it too late.
Brenchley fakes Anderson. Shot goes. Jackson Brenchley with his first bucket of the game. And it's a 10-point Logan lead with 5.5 to play in the half. Tennant and Mays at the scorer's table getting ready to check in for the Grizzlies. Brimhall in the corner. They let him loose. He can't connect, and Huff comes up with it. Brimhall was red hot for a moment, but he's missed his last two. Coombs drives baseline, loses it out of bounds. 5th turnover for the Mustangs.
Grizzly basketball. Checking in for the Grizzlies, number 22, Marcus Mays.
Medlin and
number
Dixon.
44, Highland Tennant. And for the Mustangs,
Take a
number
seat
22,
for the Grizzlies.
Cannon Shank.
Shank comes back in for Coombs. Logan with 3 3-pointers in that first period. They jumped out to a 19-7 lead after one. Down low, Tennant in the paint. Misses. Tipped by Brimhall.
Nice follow and good nose for the ball.
9 for Brimhall. Bookmiller and Anderson collide, and Anderson will collect the foul. For the Grizzlies, that's only their second foul. Logan, Mountain Crest with only 3.
They had 2 quick ones, and then they didn't pick any up the rest of that quarter.
Huff is underneath. He's fouled. No shot. And Anderson just picked up his second.
Well, Anderson gets baited into that foul.
Medlin will check in for Anderson.
Foul on Jackson Anderson, his second personal, 13 foul. Checking in for the Grizzlies.
One mullet for another.
Chandler Medlin.
I was going to say, they're on the all-hair team, those two. Out front, Brenchley. Free throw line jumper goes. He's a little bit off balance, but he got it to go.
Jackson Brenchley for 2.
And the lead is 10 for the Grizzlies. Mays. Gives it to Compton. He backs it out. He and Medlin play catch.
You know, I don't know if I'm not very observant or not, but Brenchley from Mountain Crest has a splint on his left pinky.
3 for Compton. Compton with 8. Brimhall with 9. As those two are pacing the Grizzlies, and they lead by 13. That pass a little high for Huff. He couldn't haul it in. And there's the 6th turnover for the Mustangs. Compton decides to shoot it. Compton with 10. 15 the lead for the Grizzlies now. Brenchley out front to Bookmiller. Huff. Baseline jumper won't go. Rebounded by Compton. Here come the Grizzlies. He's got Brimhall out front. Doesn't get it to him. And then he loses it. They're going the other way. Brenchley.
It's a block.
Charge.
first personal.
Well, that's a tough call, but I probably would have called that a block.
Grizzly basketball.
Brenchley gets his first foul, the 4th team foul on the Mustangs. Here's a look.
Take a look here as Medlin moves underneath him. Yeah, that's
Checking
a block.
in for the Mustangs, number 10, Kai Nethercott.
You think that's a block?
Yep.
Why?
He was running side by side with him, then cuts back under. I don't think he'd established position long enough.
So Logan with the ball and a 15-point lead with under 3 minutes to play. Travel out front. Compton took a little stutter step before he put the ball on the floor.
Too fast for his own good.
And that's 3 turnovers now for Logan. Jalen Teeve, the junior, brings it across the timeline. Now Brenchley goes back to Teeve. Biggs, Huff, and Kirby are sitting on the bench. 3 by Shank, rims out. Seen a couple of those from Mountain Crest tonight, where they did everything but fall through. Teeve shuts off Compton. They're looking for Tennant down low. He can't find him, so they'll reverse it. Underneath.
From
Compton,
the baseline.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Medlin loses it out of bounds. Back-to-back turnovers for the Grizzlies. Mountain Crest hasn't made them pay. 2 minutes to play in the half. The Mustangs with only 6 points this quarter after scoring only 7 in the first period. Shank threw that pass behind Nethercott.
Nethercott break into the basket, and Shank didn't see it in time. Caused another turnover.
That's 7 for the Mustangs. They do, Lee. They look rattled. They look out of sorts on the offensive end to the Mustangs. Compton taking them apart. He has 12. And that's a 17-point lead with 1:15 to play in the first half, and Brenchley goes down hard.
It's a good hard foul going after the ball. I think Brimhall's going to get it, isn't he?
Yes.
Could have given it to Tennant or Brimhall. Brimhall was the most aggressive. Take a look here at the replay. Brenchley goes hard, and that's brave. Freshman going against 2 seniors, one 6'8", one 6'4". Gets up, goes to the line, tries to can his 2 free throws.
Hits the first. Now Brimhall's a senior, buddy, or a junior, buddy.
Yeah, sorry. But he's 6'4".
Come on, you were a teenager once. When did that ever stop you?
That's true.
Can't tell me you never went after a guy bigger than you.
I was usually the other guy.
Of course, I was going to say I'm smaller than you. Maybe that was me. That's why all my friends were big.
Because you were the yapper.
Because I was the little mouthy guy.
Yeah, I had a friend like that.
Not little, average. I was the average mouthy guy, average size. Nothing average about Logan here in this first half. They've got 30 points on the board, and they're looking for more. Brimhall won't go, tries to get the foul as Medlin puts it back on the other end. Medlin with his first 2. Steal by Bookmiller to Shank. Shank has it swatted and a foul called out front.
Yeah, foul called before the ball gets to Tennant.
Did they steal the inbounds pass and then have it stolen back from them?
Yes.
Back-to-back turnovers. Logan with 5 turnovers. Mountain Crest with 8. And Shank will go to the line. Compton got the foul. Nobody really in foul trouble. Ferguson for Mountain Crest, Anderson for Logan have 2. That's about it. That was the 5th team foul on Logan they just called. Mountain Crest with 4. Shank gets on the board.
.40 seconds to go in the half. Coach Bookmiller is going to have a serious amount of adjustments to make and calm his kids down to come out in the second half and make a run at them.
Now that's it. If Mountain Crest would take care of the basketball. 8 turnovers in the first half. Medlin all the way to the rack.
Chandler Medlin for 2.
Back-to-back buckets for the Grizzlies by Medlin, and they lead again by 17. They led by 12 at the end of the first period. Mountain Crest looks like they might hold for the last shot of the half. Nethercott sets a screen on Mays. Brenchley goes to Shank instead. Shank tries to draw the foul, and he turns it over. Brenchley gets it back, and his shot at the buzzer will not count, and that's the end of the first half. 34-17. It ends fittingly, I guess, for Mountain Crest with a turnover. Logan with the 17-point lead.
$10. It doesn't get you much anymore. A few cups of coffee, a sandwich, half a t-shirt. Well, Planet Fitness is about to change all that. Right now, when you join Planet Fitness, you'll pay just $10 a month. That's right, we're talking just $10. So get more for your money and become a member of Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone.
Back at Logan High School, Mountain Crest trails Logan 34-17 at the half. We'll talk a little bit more about the first half, but I need to mention one of our sponsors. It's the good folks at PR Graphics. They create banners and signs, vehicle graphics and wraps, graphics for your four-wheeler and your snowmobile. They'll do any size, color, and graphics. That's PR Graphics. Let's take a look and a listen to the highlights. Logan. the high-lows doing their military routine here at Logan High School, performing at the half. It's 34-17. Before they started, remember I was talking about PR graphics, how they can do banners, signs, vehicle wraps, and they can customize or recreate things just to meet any customer's needs. You know, I spent some time with Shania Laird of PR graphics before the game. Talk about what they do there, how they do it. It's really cool. Shania, why don't you tell me a little bit about your business, about PR graphics and what you guys do down there?
So basically, PR graphics can do vehicle wraps, window screens, banners, snowmobile wraps, dirt bike wraps, anything that vinyl can stick to, we can put it on.
So if somebody sees some car driving around with logos and everything on it, that's probably you guys that are doing that. That's what you specialize in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just cars, you say? You can do it on anything. Snowmobiles, dirt bikes. You know, you use software to put it all together. I mean, take us through the process here.
Yeah, so basically when you come in, you get to see the step-by-step process. First, you tell us what vehicle or anything that you have, and we pick out the template for it. You can pick whatever design, color, words, whatever you want, and watch us put it together. And whatever you want changed, we'll change for you, so it's exactly how you want it.
And that's interesting because you can, I think that's really, that part of the process is great because, yeah, you can talk about it and maybe you can draw it up and look at it, but down there you will actually even like take a photo of the vehicle and show what the final product is looking like. So before you even start, they can really get in on it, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of a difficult business to understand, but we'll definitely try to simplify it as much as we can so you know what you're getting and you get what you want.
Well, that's outstanding. And well, look right here. That's what we're talking about. You can see exactly what the vehicle is going to look like, you know, when it's finished. It's not something that you have to say, I think this will look really cool, and then hope that it really does.
Yeah, we narrow it down to every little detail so we make sure it's perfect.
Well, let's talk about the process of doing that a little bit. Okay, it's great. You put it all out on computer, and this is what it's going to look like. Okay, now it's time to, you know, get our fingers dirty a little bit. What are we doing?
So first we start it printed out on our printer, which can print 64 inches wide. So that's bigger than any car hood or anything that you would need to do. So we start to print it out with the ink right here.
I'm looking at this picture, and this is a picture that they actually, the customers actually brought to you that they took themselves, right? Where can you get the pictures from? They can bring their own. Where else do you pull it from?
They can bring their own pictures. You can get them off the internet. You can send them our company logos. Basically, any pictures, we'll make sure that it'll be clear for you and it'll be how you want it.
And you print it all out on vinyl here. So.
Yep, we're printing out on a vinyl right here, right in our own shop.
How long does that take?
It depends on how big of a piece it is. Sometimes it can take a really long time, and sometimes we have it done as quick as a few minutes.
So here's your vehicle. Here's before, right?
This is before the vehicle.
Tell me what's going on.
We had to go through and take off all the stickers, badges. Basically anywhere the vinyl was going to go, it had to be perfectly clean so it'll stick for 3 to 5 years.
Okay, and you want to get anything out as well so you don't have big bumps in the vinyl, I'm sure.
Yep, we went through and did a full detail, cleaned it, took off the mirrors. Any cracks that the vinyl was going to go, it had to go in there perfectly. So we really pay attention to detail that way.
What does the sun do to this? I mean, the sun beats down in these Cache Valley summers. What does the sun do to this vinyl?
So the process that you didn't see is we actually laminated it with a UV laminate so it protects it against the sun. Weather, basically anything in Cache Valley, these wraps will stand up against. We actually all have wraps on our own vehicles to test it out, and it's worked perfectly.
Salty roads and everything, huh?
Everything.
And you can run it through the car wash, and that's okay?
Yeah.
There? So you get it to stick down, you look like, it's like quite the process. You get you have to go through every square inch of this thing to make sure it looks right, huh?
Yeah, it took quite a bit of practice, and it's quite the process, yeah.
And then you cut around where the handles are, cut around the wheel wells and everything, and fold up and under, I imagine. And now that where it says the Valley Channel there, is that another laminate on top of another one?
Yeah, the Valley Channel sticker was actually one that we put on top of the other one in case it ever changes names or he decides to take it back off. The logo can actually come off instead of taking off the whole wrap.
And look at the hood. Now you remember that, you know, the vehicle before, but this, I mean, it's like a brand new vehicle here. That's outstanding. I was talking to you off camera about it. It's great.
Yeah, from gold to a completely different scenery.
And you see the back right there and all the logos and everything else. It's even up on the roof.
Yeah.
So you took, I mean, talk about wrap. You did the whole thing.
Yeah, what you're seeing right here is actually the window screen part. And that's the part we can put on the window so it still makes it legal. But when you're looking out of them, it looks just like it would if you didn't have anything on it.
Right. In fact, I think Yeah, there's looking out.
Yep.
See how you can see right out of it? And there's a look at the windshield on it.
Yeah, so that's also a really good idea if you want to advertise something for your business and you don't want to stick it on the side of your vehicle. We can just do a back window screen for you.
What if you've got a business and you have it wrapped like that and you're 3 or 4 years and you decide to change some logos?
We do actually do vinyl removal as well, which some companies do not offer, and it will not damage your paint whatsoever.
Not at all, huh? You can get that right off of there and get it out the door. You look at the attention to detail and, you know, right from design to finish. Showed you what goes into it and what the final product looks like. That is unbelievable. That looks great. And now we're looking at a van here, but you mentioned earlier motorcycles, snowmobiles, and let's take a look at the process on a snowmobile. Other than being shaped different, is it vastly different to do a snowmobile?
Yeah, all of them are quite a different process, but we show you all the same process from the beginning, so we would show you exactly what you're going to be getting.
So you saw the before there, it's all red. Now
Yep, started out red, and then this was actually a sponsor one, so we put on every sponsor that they wanted in the place that they wanted it. Put on their names, the colors they wanted.
Now is it just putting it on the fiberglass, or can you put it on anywhere? Is there some surfaces that you recommend or don't recommend? Or?
They make special vinyls for all sorts of different things. Like they even make a vinyl that'll stick to floor or brick or anything, but basically anything that vinyl can stick to, we get it to stick to.
There's your bike. Is that your pink bike right there?
Yeah, this is actually my bike, and
is it?
It started out just a plain pink, and the owner before me had kind of wrecked it a little bit and had scratches on it. So instead of repainting it, we just put vinyl over it. You'd never even know.
No, you have no idea.
Yeah.
That's all kind of. It's got that metal flake. I bet it looks nice when the sun's on it.
Yeah, there's all sorts of different vinyls. That is carbon fiber right there on the windshield. The rest of it's metallic pink. We have a whole book full of colors you can pick through.
Wow, that is outstanding. So you can take it from, we saw the before, and then we saw the after. It's like a whole new vehicle. That is PR Graphics. Somebody wants to get a hold of you. They're interested in doing this. How would they get a hold of you?
They can call 435-764-0497.
And where would they come see you?
They come see us at 212 North, 1375 West. We're right above Autobahn.
All right, that's PR Graphics.
Thank you.
Coach, looked like your team came out full of adrenaline in that first quarter, but they rode that adrenaline to good execution through the whole first half with a big lead now. What'd you tell them at halftime?
Thought we played good as a team. We executed the game plan, but it's not good enough. It's only 16 minutes. We got to go get 16 more.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back to you, Eric Olson.
Well, there you go. The Hey, Remember the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Cache Valley Hospital, your choice in healthcare. Salt Lake Express, door-to-door service to and from the Salt Lake Airport every hour. Lewiston State Bank, strong and vibrant for over a century. Immaculate Homes, now your home. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food, it's Wendy's. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you've been missing. PR Graphics for all your promotional graphics needs. Planet Fitness, the judgment-free zone, and only $10 a month. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's television station. Just a few seconds away from the start of the second half. It's 34-17. Logan leading Mountain Crest in Logan.
Here at Lewiston State Bank, we offer lots of different loan products to meet your needs. We're happy to work with you and hope that you would enjoy working with us.
We had to take out an automobile loan, and so we came into Lewiston State Bank, and she was so good. She worked with me really, really well.
We are proud to have been serving our customers for over 100 years with personalized, friendly service. Please come in and meet your new friends at Lewiston State Bank.
34-17 our scores. We start the second half. Welcome back to Logan High School. Eric Olson along with Lee Vaughn. Lee, Coach Brown, probably pretty pleased with the effort in the first half.
Well, just like every coach, he's pleased with it, but wants more, and he expects, like he said, another 16 minutes of high-intensity play out of the Grizzlies.
Well, he gets 3 more. Lee, you told me you thought if the Grizzlies could get out to a lead of 18, this ball game's over. It's now 20.
Yep.
So we can just pack up and go home?
Well, I still kind of feel like that. Logan or Mountain Crest having a hard time getting easy shots to drop like that one against Ferguson.
Brimhall 3, bang!
Compton with a miracle save, back to Brimhall at the top of the key, cans a three-pointer. Now it's a 23-point lead.
Brenchley loses it, 10 turnovers for the Grizzlies. Back-to-back threes by Logan out of the locker room, and you said it, a 23-point lead. And the Grizzlies just taking it to the Mustangs. I expected a tough one here for Mountain Crest. I did not expect something of this nature.
No.
Still a lot of time left here in the second half, but Logan
Out of bounds, Mustang basketball.
doing everything right. That's 6 triples now for the Grizzlies in this ball game. Mountain Crest has hit 1 from beyond the arc.
Well, Brimhall averages nearly 3 3-pointers a game.
Huff tries his luck. It's short.
You know, there's just too much one and done for Mountain Crest. They get one shot and they're back on defense. And you can't win. You got to get some offensive rebounds, and you got the height and the bodies to do it. So go after it.
Logan leading by 17 at the break. They hit back-to-back three-pointers, looking for another one. Brimhall a little too hard, but Mays gets to the board, just hustles and out-hustles the Mustangs and takes that away from 2 Mountain Crest defenders.
Yeah, it drops between 4 different Mustangs, and they kind of wait for the other guy to get it. Mays just sneaks in there and steals it away.
Anderson, jumper, short, Huff with the board.
See, Logan hasn't had that great of a shooting percentage either. They've missed a lot of shots, but they just are hustling on defense and rebounding and converting.
Kirby
That's a
leaves
travel.
it short, goes back up and he's fouled. He looked like he lost that first one on the way up, lost control of it, and it went short. Here's another look.
Tanner Kirby shooting for the Mustangs.
He just passed it to himself. That's a travel.
Yeah.
Checking in for the Mustangs, number 13, Caden Buckmore.
Kirby's been fairly solid for the Mustangs. He's got 7, looking for 8 points. And misses. He's the leading scorer for Mountain Crest with 7. Brimhall has 12 for the Grizzlies.
Compton have what, 10?
Compton with 12 as well.
12.
Brimhall turns a corner and loses it out of bounds, and a foul.
When Brimhall gets bailed out there, he kind of lost control of that ball before it went up, and I think they're going to get the foul on Huff. They're going to call it on Kirby.
They call it on Ferguson.
Ferguson sneaking there. Let's see the replay. Wow.
It's all about vantage points.
Yeah, that's what we call a matador foul.
That's his second foul that he picked up was that way as well. So he got 2 cheap ones. Brimhall hits both. And he has 14. Ferguson stays on the floor. Lobs it into Huff. Tennant knocks it away. It stays at this end.
Out of bounds, Mustang basketball.
Brenchley, little fade away off the iron.
Just cannot buy a basket.
Brenchley has 6 points all in the second period. Mountain Crest as a team just not shooting the ball well. Brimhall, free throw line, too hard. Huff with the board. Kirby looking for the ball down low. Huff's gonna take it. Charging foul. Well, that's the call tonight, fellas. That's about the 3rd or 4th player control foul. That's the way they're calling it tonight. So
they're calling
you
it
got to
consistent.
adjust.
Yep. That was an easy charge foul. Take a look here in the replay.
Grizzlies basketball.
See, there's the difference. Anderson has that position all day long, and Huff just runs over him.
Brimhall looks into Tennant, working on Kirby. Tennant.
Hiram Tennant in traffic.
Hiram Tennant with 4 points. That's a 26-point lead for the Grizz. Brenchley to the hole. Got it. And one.
Jackson Brenchley with the bucket and the foul.
Mountain Crest needs about 10 more of those plays to get back into this game, some and ones.
10 more of those and 10 more stops.
Yeah.
Third personal, second team foul.
Anderson just picked up his third, so Dixon will come in for him. And Coombs will replace Kirby.
Chandler Medlin. Checking in for the Mustangs.
Medlin's also into the ball game, as Brimhall will take a rest. Brimhall's not going to rest long. He's coming right back in. Brenchley completes the three-point play, and he has 9 for the Mustangs.
Number 24, Tyler Brimhall.
They take Tennant out, so with Tanner Kirby sitting down, Logan sits Tennant. Mountain Crest applying some pressure. May shuffles under to Brimhall, knocked out of bounds. I think that may have gone off Brimhall, but he was run into by one of the Mustang players. Instead of calling a foul, they just gave the ball back. Medlin, left-hander.
Chandler Medlin for 2.
Yeah, Buck Miller hit him pretty hard from the backside.
Ferguson leans in. He'll go to the line for a chance at a three-point play.
Gage Ferguson with the bucket and the foul.
His first bucket of the game.
Foul is on 15. Taylor Compton, his second personal.
Compton picks up his
foul.
second. It's the third team foul on the Grizzlies. Take a look. Yeah, it was one of those swipe fouls like Ferguson called for a couple times.
He was owed one of those at least.
Ferguson with the three-point play. Still a 22-point lead, now 24 for Logan. As number 24.
Really impressed with Tyler Brimhall's progression as a penetrating guard. Does a great job getting to the rack and taking care of the ball. We didn't see that a lot when he was younger the last couple of years, but now he's up in his game a little bit, which makes it so much more difficult to defend because he's got that quick release three-pointer and now a drive.
He was more of a gunner,
a
three-point shooter before. He's got 16 tonight. That's a 24-point lead for the Grizzlies. Icon Health and Fitness, one of our sponsors. Icon's one of the world's largest developers, manufacturers, and marketers of fitness equipment with brands that include Nordic Track, Proform, Leader, Reebok, Gold's Gym, Health Rider, Reebok, Westlaw, Jump King brands of exercise equipment. That's Icon Health and Fitness, and a longtime supporter of high school sports here on the Valley Channel. The Salt Lake Express is your personal door-to-door pickup and drop-off service. They go to and from the Salt Lake City Airport every hour. Or there's economic service from convenient Cache Valley locations at the Salt Lake Express. And you know, every game, Pier 49 provides us with what I call a pile o' pizzas.
And garlic bread with cheese.
And garlic bread with cheese. And for my money, if you're watching the game or having a movie night, I don't know that there's any reason to call anybody but Pier 49 Pizza. You'll fall in love with pizza again at Pier 49. It's a big game to watch in a couple of weeks for some Pier 49 Pizza while I'm eating it. Who is playing in that game, by the way, Lee?
Well, I think it's the Super Bowl champions Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Donkeys.
Are the Dallas Cowboys playing in that game?
No.
Oh.
Well, that's not a surprise. I grew up in Washington State, and I rooted for the Seahawks when they were absolutely terrible.
So you're pulling for the Seahawks?
Yes. And we hated Denver back then because they always kicked the snot out of the Seahawks.
After the turnover, Medlin can't get it to go at the other end. Ferguson in a little bit of a scrum and a foul called. Well, Our allegiance in our house is to the orange blue of the Broncos, but there are 2 Seahawks that I'll be pulling for, and that's Bobby Wagner and Robert Turbin.
Yes. See,
Wagner can go ahead and have 20 tackles, and Turbin can get 100 yards as long as the Broncos win. Right?
He played a great game against San Francisco. It was fantastic.
He really did. I'm still mad that he didn't get drafted by Denver. They could use him. That should be interesting. Offense against defense. Brenchley can't get it to go down, and it's rebounded by Dixon.
Well, if it's a bad weather game like it has been in New York for the past couple of weeks, Denver's going to have a hard time. Peyton doesn't play very good in weather. If it's good weather, Broncos will win, unfortunately.
Yeah, the NFL is going to send some guy to break our legs if he hears this, but the stupidest thing they ever did was have a Super Bowl in an outdoor stadium in a cold weather city.
Oh, did you hear what they're talking about now?
What, moving it?
No. Removing the point after attempt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can go for 2. But if you don't get it,
my question is,
you'd only get 6.
Does Roger Goodell totally want to change? Oh, my
Big
gosh.
swat by Huff on Mays.
Does Roger Goodell totally want to turn it into flag football or what? It's ridiculous.
Checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 3.
Great block by Huff.
And for the Grizzlies,
that helps him vent a little bit of his frustration so far in this game. There it is again.
And number 20, Jackson Anderson.
That was with a little authority. Medlin triggers into Dixon. Jason Anderson into the ball game for the Grizzlies. Medlin with the back cut. Dixon didn't see him, and another swat by Huff. Kind of talked to himself a little when it happened. Gave one of his teammates a little bit of a slap, but he knows he's down 24. His team's down 24. Here's another look at it.
Just good timing and extra long arms.
Boy, he does. He can unlock your door from the driver's side if you're sitting in the passenger seat.
Right turn, Clyde.
Anderson back in with those 3 fouls. Jackson Anderson has it knocked away by Huff, and it stays here. 1:34 to play in the 3rd period. It was a 17-point lead at the half. Logan's outscored Mountain Crest by 7 here in this 3rd period thus far. In a raucous gym here in Logan. It's been loud tonight, Dave.
Yes, it has.
Medlin with the back cut. Now he tries to post up Bookmiller, and Mays looks to him, and then they're going to say just a little bit too much grabbing and holding and pushing and shoving going on, and Bookmiller gets the foul.
Oh, and they're going to call that on Bookmiller. Looked like Medlin was the instigator in most of that contact.
Jackson Anderson leans in and scores. Anderson with 6 and his first bucket since the 1st quarter. Ferguson bumped out of bounds by Jason Anderson. No relation to Jackson.
Well, it is Cache Valley. Can't swing a dead cat around here without hitting somebody named Olson, Anderson, or Swenson.
It's Little Scandinavia.
A little bit. Wait a minute, I married an Andresen.
There's some of those around here as well.
Yeah, I know.
Checking in for the Mustangs, number 22, Cannon Shank.
Shank in, Ferguson out. That one goes out of bounds. Under a minute to play in the 3rd period as the murky gene pool jokes are being broken out by the production crew. I'm just going to ignore all of them. You can play along at home, though, by joking with your friends as the Grizzlies turn it over but still lead by 26.
Well, Jackson Anderson not looking for that pass. Good idea from Dixon, but just no communication.
Jackson Anderson, the 6'4" junior. 5 seniors on this team. Pretty good core coming back next year. There's a kick by Medlin.
Coach Brown telling Medlin, hey, don't do that. After he kicked the ball, don't go shoot it. That's a delay of game, possibly.
You're going to get a call. You're going to get it rung up. Bookmiller in the corner finds Nethercott. Nethercott turns and gives to Shank. And Shank will go to the line. Jackson Anderson.
Jackson Anderson, his fourth
Just
personal.
picked up his fourth.
He's been playing physical, and that's what happens when you play physical.
Yeah,
and he has great position until the last second. He brings that left arm down, and it's going to get you a call every time.
Checking in for the Grizzlies, number 24, Tyler Brimhall.
His dad, of course, Kevin Anderson, that coached out at Skyview. He played at Mountain Crest.
Coached at Ogden, too.
Many years ago, yeah. Coached at Ogden. His kid plays at Logan. He's got all the schools covered. It's probably tough for him to go to a ball game.
Yeah.
Who do I cheer for? Oh, I guess my son.
Yeah, probably his kid. Depends if he stole the car or not.
Shank makes both. Brimhall leans in, and he'll go to the line. Looks like it's going to be a foul called on Nethercott. Nope. They're going to give that to
Number 13, Caden Buckmiller, his second personal, fourth team foul. Tyler Brimhall
Picks up
checking
his
for the
second.
Grizzlies.
Big third quarter for Brimhall. 8 points. He's looking for number 9. There's 9. He's got 18 for the game. 9 points in the first half, 9 points in the third. As Logan blown this ball game open. T finds Bookmiller down low. And that's the end of the third period of play. Logan with the 52-28 lead, and they're cruising into the fourth quarter.
What if you could design an outdoor kitchen at a price you could afford? With Camp Chef's durable cooking equipment, you can own a custom kitchen that's built to last for years. You can grill, bake, boil, deep fry, and saute right in your own patio or backyard. Transform your Camp Chef into a griddle, barbecue box, or high-output burner in just minutes. Best of all, you can quickly load up your Camp Chef gear and turn your campsite into a gourmet kitchen anywhere. Camp Chef, the way to cook outdoors.
Ready to start the fourth quarter, 52-28. Logan with an 18-point third period. Mountain Crest with an 11-point third period. Pretty consistent for Logan, 19, 15, and 18. Mountain Crest started out slow with that 7-point first period, and they've been behind the 8 ball ever since. Ferguson can't get it to go. It's rebounded by Brimhall, then he turns it over. Shank shot, won't go. Looking for his rebound. And here come the Grizzlies with it. 3 chances, and none of them fall for the Mustangs.
Well, we got to talk about our Valley Channel Player of the Game. We have a gift certificate to clean the sink at Angie's, where the locals eat, and you can get a free cheeseburger at Wendy's, is a great sponsor of high school sports. And I'm thinking it's got to be Brimhall. I thought for a second about Compton. They both played very well, but Brimhall's done the damage in both sides of the half.
Yeah, he had half of his team's points in that third period when they blew it open. 9 of his team's 18 points. He went to the rack. He hit free throws. He hit 3-pointers. He's put on a clinic here tonight. Jason Anderson gets in the paint, swatted and a foul.
Push from
I think
behind.
Shank got it clean, but Huff may have bodied him. Let's see.
It's going to be on Shank.
opposite.
Yeah. He got the push from behind.
15 foul.
Let's see if we can see it in the replay here. Schenk gets caught behind him here, and this is where the push comes with the body, yeah.
Entering the game for the Grizzlies.
Jason Anderson gets on the board with the free throw as Tennant and Kirby check back in for Logan and Mountain Crest respectively. Anderson misses the second, and Kirby stretches out for the board. Stretch Armstrong right there. Ferguson off the glass.
Gage Ferguson for two.
Smooth move, Ferguson. That was smooth.
One of my favorite episodes.
Random 30 Rock references. Put that on the Valley Channel Facebook page. Spot to leave on popular culture references. Brimhall shot a little hard off the front of the iron. Here come the Mustangs. Huff leans in too hard. Tennant came over to bother it. Brenchley has 9 points in this ball game, but he hasn't really been a factor. Oh, Medlin.
Wow. Been really impressed with the backcourt play of Logan in their second level. They got a couple of good guys coming in and clean. Anderson's played well, and Medlin too.
Bookmiller comes in.
Checking in for the Grizzlies.
Huff will take a seat. Compton replaces Jason Anderson. There's your Wendy's All-Stars, Trent Simmons and swimming from Logan High School. Congratulations to all of our Wendy's All-Stars, our I guess players of the week, you could say. And they're starting the winning team, losing team chant pretty early.
Pretty early.
That one made popular by what up at the Spectrum, the crowd up there. Now you see it everywhere.
Entering the game for the Grizzlies, number 20, Jackson Anderson.
Jackson Anderson replaces Tennant. Utah State in their first year in the Mountain West, football-wise, they competed for a championship. Basketball-wise, they're finding the going a little bit tougher.
Close one at Boise State last weekend.
They've had 2 close losses at home. I'm sure they'd love to have another crack, or away, I mean. They'd love to have another crack at it, especially that Air Force loss. Anderson, and one for Jackson Anderson.
Well, that's good body control. He takes the harm and still cans the basket, going to the line for an and one.
Foul on 22, Cannon Schenk, his second personal.
25-point lead for Logan. And both teams still riding their regular rotation. They haven't emptied out that bench at all. And Anderson misses the free throw. He's got 8 points on the night. Bookmiller for 3, won't go. Schenk sneaks in for the rebound. It's knocked away. They say it goes out of bounds off of Cannon Schenk, and it's Grizzly basketball with 5 minutes to play in the ball game. Medlin, 3, got it. 11 for Medlin off the bench. Now Coach Brown's gonna start taking guys out of the game. Brenchley's shot won't count. He was fouled before.
Foul on Tyler Brimhall, his second personal.
Brimhall picks up his second.
16 foul.
Dixon,
Checking in the game
Anderson,
for the Grizzlies, number
and
11,
Riley
Jason
Griffiths all in the ball game for Logan.
Number 12,
Coombs replaces
Cole
Kirby.
Dixon. And number 21, Riley Griffiths.
Logan's in the penalty, so Brenchley trading 1 and 1. And he's in double figures. Teeve replaces Ferguson. It's Teeves, Coombs, Shank, Brenchley, and Bookmiller for the Mustangs as Brenchley makes his second. He got 11 points. Dixon kicks it out to Mays. Griffiths for 3.
Boy,
right off the bench and firing. Spin move by Brenchley.
Jackson Brenchley for 2.
And Nate Anderson's fouled. And shoot free throws at the other end.
Foul on Caden Buckmiller, his third personal, 7th team foul.
Bookmiller picks up his third.
Number 10, Ty Weathercox. Jason Anderson.
It's a 1 and 1 for Jason Anderson. Anderson misses and Bookmiller collects the board.
Jason Anderson, just a sophomore.
Shank for 3 off the front of the iron. Under 4 minutes to play. Logan with the big lead of 60-36. They've led by as many as 28. There's a 17-point lead at the half. 12 after 1 quarter. Anderson inside, gets his own rebound. I guess it was blocked by Nethercott. Right back to him, and Anderson scores. 3:20 to play in the ball game. 62-36. Mountain Crest calls timeout. I think he's calling timeout just to get some guys in the game. Lewiston State Bank is one of our sponsors, serving individuals and businesses for over 100 years in Cache Valley. Remember, they've got locations in North Logan, Lewiston, Preston, Idaho, and check out their new location, 3rd South from Maine in Logan. Don't forget, mortgages and home equity loans as well at Lewiston State Bank. As we look at the time on the clock and the score, it's been all Logan right from the start in this one. Tommy Albrechtson comes into the ball game for Mountain Crest, as does Carter Christiansen. All the starters for both teams on the bench now. Coombs, baseline jumper's good. Mays all the way to the rack, rebounded by Christiansen. Here comes Coombs the other way. Coombs shut off. And now he kicks it out front to Teeve and over his head into the backcourt. You got to go after that one because if Logan picks it up, they can take it to the rack.
Grizzly basketball.
It's a live ball. I'm going to grab the coupons and a microphone and head down to the sideline and be ready to catch Tyler Brimhall, our player of the game.
He will be our roving reporter, man on the street.
That's right, man on the court.
Hunk on the hardwood. That's what your wife says anyway. Mays between the circles, working on Albrechtsen. Logan move it around. 24-point lead, and the Grizzlies turn it over. It's their 8th turnover for the evening.
Entering the game for the Mustangs, number 2, Colton Ferguson.
Colton Ferguson, number 2, comes into the ball game. It's Gage Ferguson's little brother. Ferguson travels out front. 12th turnover.
Grizzly basketball.
Under 2 minutes to play now in the ball game. All over but the crying really here at Logan as the Grizzlies turned over, but they call a foul on Albrechtsen.
Foul on number 12, Tommy Albrechtsen, his first personal. 8th team foul. Marcus Mays shooting for
So 1-1 for Mays. Mays goes to the free throw line. He had a 3-pointer early and then a 3-pointer in the third. 6 points. Now 7. His 3-pointer early in the first period brought the Logan student body to their feet, and they've been up and hollering ever since. Mays misses the second. Rebounded out of there by another couple. Ferguson tries to kick it back to his teammate, and instead it goes right to one of the Grizzlies for turnover number 13. .38, Grizzlies firmly in control. They have been right from the start. Led by double digits since the first quarter. Under a minute to play now. There's 4 guys sitting in front of the scorer's table for the Grizzlies. They'd love to see somebody foul somebody so the clock stops, they can get into the ballgame. But we're at 35 seconds now. Medlin with the back cut, wrapped it around to Dixon, right off his face and out of bounds. Dixon wasn't ready for it. 9th turnover for Grizzlies.
Checking in for the Grizzlies, number 1, James Larson. Number 10, Colin Harris. Number 32, Kyle
James
Jackson.
Larson, Colin Harris,
And number
Kyle
25,
Jackson.
Justin Heater.
And Justin Heater into the ball game now for Logan for the last 27 seconds. Albrechtsen drives baseline. We're under 10 seconds. Teaves pulls up for a 3, too hard. Albrechtsen tips it out. Teaves gonna fire at the buzzer. The shot no good. And Logan wins it 63-38 as they spank the Mustangs here at Logan High School. We'll be back with our player of the game, Tyler Brimhall, after this timeout.
$10. It doesn't get you much anymore. A few cups of coffee, a sandwich, half a t-shirt. Well, Planet Fitness is about to change all that. Right now, when you join Planet Fitness, you'll pay just $10 a month. That's right, we're talking just $10. So get more for your money and become a member of Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone.
flatbread from Wendy's? Gotta share this with my web friends.
I'd rather share it with my taste buds.
Introducing Wendy's Flatbread Grilled Chicken. Warm flatbread sandwiches in 2 bold new tastes.
Now that's better.
Yeah, I found Tyler Brimhall. Tyler, fantastic game tonight. Came out with a lot of adrenaline. You went into the halftime with a 17-point lead. What did your coach tell you at half?
I don't know. This is a rivalry game, and he was just pumped up the whole game. We were pumped up this whole week. We were just ready for him.
Looked like you were really feeling your shot. Tell me about how easy that was coming tonight.
My teammates. That's all I got to say. My teammates got it to me. I just connected with them.
Well, you get a coupon to clean the sink at Angie's and get a free hamburger at Wendy's. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you, Eric Olson.
All right, Logan wins 63-38 over Mountain Crest. The game was brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Cache Valley Hospital, your choice in healthcare. Salt Lake Express door-to-door service to and from the Salt Lake Airport every hour. Lewiston State Bank, strong and vibrant for over a century. Immaculate Homes, now your home. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you've been missing. PR Graphics for all your promotional graphics needs. Planet Fitness, the judgment-free zone, only $10 a month. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's television station. For Lee Vaughn and the guys behind the camera and in the truck doing the hard work, I'm Eric Olson, saying we'll see you next time on the Valley Channel.
Reasons to follow in others' footsteps? 0. Things weighing on your mind when running? 0. Reasons to buy an Ultra shoe? 0. Drop. 0 Drop places your heel and forefoot the same distance from the ground for natural posture, more power, and better running technique. Stress caused from squeezed toes? 0. Ultra's foot-shaped toe box lets your toes relax, creating a natural platform for more stability, maximum comfort, and improved performance. Connection lost between foot and ground? 0. Ultra gives you a responsive ride, plus full A-bound cushioning underfoot. Number of other companies that combine 0 Drop, foot shape, and full cushioning in a single shoe? 0. Introducing Ultra. Visit ultrazerodrop.com now for free shipping. Wear them for 30 days. If you don't run better, send them back. 0 questions asked. Ultra. 0 Drop, 0 limits.